Hello everybody, Iain Robson here for another edition of Springhill Valley! Alright, we got a couple things going on today. As you recall from the previous episode, we were going to bale this and we never got around to doing that because this guy right here took a little bit of our time away. And I finished seeding the other field and I have not refilled this yet and I still have 148 liters or 4% left of this particular seeder, just to give you an idea of how much seed this actually uses. So I've already done one field and that's how much seed is still left out of this guy. So if you are using this particular horse seeder, be aware that you do not need a whole lot of seed in it to do a field, unless you're doing a humongous field. I probably will have enough to do this whole field still, I imagine. Anyhow, I am not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this baled before. I don't think it's going to rain. No. What's on corn? Well, I don't have corn anyways. Alright, let's get this baled right here. So I said I was going to do this last episode, and it really helps Iain if you drop that pickup. Yes, I imagine that probably would help a lot. Anyways, I was like, la 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 la, let's just go over the windrow. And then it's like, whoops, maybe I should lower that pickup. Anyhow, we are reduced. No, this is the perfect size. What are they at? 125? Yes. So we're doing 4-foot bales, or 125 centimeter bales right now. We're pretty close to 4 feet anyways. And the reason why we're doing that is because our Eurodesian auto stacker does work fairly nicely with that size of bale. So in order to make sure we utilize it as best as possible, we're going to go ahead and use that. How many bales have we done? 37. Alright, so we may need to replace the twine or the net wrap this episode. We'll see. I keep forgetting I can go speed level number 2. I don't know why, but I seem to forget that I can do cruise control 2 on this field as opposed to 1. It's funny, while I do like the rake I have, it does make things a little bit annoying just because you always have to be aware of, I don't know, it's not, let's just say this, it's not as efficient as having a wheel rake on either side as opposed to the staggered ones that we have right now. Oh well, it will work, mind you. I do appreciate the fact that these hedges right here are non-collidable. I know on Old Brook Farm from OEB Modding, they made all of their hedges collidable, which would probably drive me nuts. Although they do, I should say they did make it so there was like a headland around every single field, so you had a little bit of wiggle room, so to speak. So it wasn't terrible, but still, colliding with every single bush, ugh. I'm so happy NA Modding decided against that. I probably would have been like, alright guys, it's going to be a really short series because I can't stand these bushes, but the fact that they made some of them collidable and some of them not, that's nice. Like I know for example that these fences now, I can't drive through those, but these bushes I can drive through. So if I don't want to use the gate, for whatever reason, I can just plow through these. I'm going to assume these are just weeds and not bushes because I would drive through weeds, I wouldn't drive through bushes, but anyhow. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Anyhow, I just finished watching a YouTube video actually of One Lonely Farmer. I've been watching it like off and on. It's interesting to see like what he does in his farm and whatnot. And I actually started following another farmer, I guess. I'm not sure. He never talked in the video. Well, any of the videos I've seen so far, he hasn't talked. I think his name is Dino, or Diano or something. I'm not sure. He's never said his name before, but he, I believe he's positioned out in Europe as opposed to America like One Lonely Farmer is. So his videos tend to include a little bit more European equipment. I forget, I randomly found him because somebody must have left a comment on his video and I just happened to notice it because you can do that through Google Plus and whatnot. Anyways, I noticed someone left a video or a comment on one of his videos and I was kind of curious as to what he was doing. So I kind of went and took a little look, and that he does a lot of videos. I think it looks like a GoPro camera he uses. and he just records himself doing different things on the farm. And the last video I saw was him. He was doing silage actually, or what would it be? It wouldn't be silage. It would be. Would it be silage? No, haylage. Haylage. There we go. He was doing haylage. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's rolling. Stop. That is going to be a really. Wow. Well, that's going to be interesting. Can't believe that Bale decided to do that. Anyways, so I was watching his video and I was curious to see what he was doing. He was actually, they were using a class, was it a class? They were using a forage harvester, and they basically had cut hay like I have right here, except they didn't dry it. They just used it to make haylage wet, of course, because they were putting it into silage. They're putting it into a silage clamp, or bunker, whatever you want to call it. And it was pretty cool, actually. I have no idea who commented on that video, and that's how I found it. I was randomly looking through Google Plus, which you can do, and basically I found it through that. But it was interesting because it was European style, and it was cool to see the way it looked. It was a pretty good video. No music or anything, just a guy in a tractor, basically. But it was cool to watch, to see the way it worked, and the way they did it. Basically, they were just trucking back and forth from the field to the farm, and I guess it looked like they had a dairy farm operation there. But it was pretty interesting, actually. I can't say I've seen much of that. For whatever reason, I tend to find more American farmers, like Brian Scott is another American farmer I follow. He doesn't make as many YouTube videos per se, but he does do a few YouTube videos. But he does more the blogging type thing on his blog, thefarmerslife.com. Little plug there. Anyways, but he does some cool stuff with. He has a UAV, and he uses the UAV to scout out his property, because he has a pretty big piece of land. I think he's got like 3 or 5, maybe 5,000 acres or something. So he's got quite a large plot of land. So he needs to be able to scout it relatively quickly to spot areas where he needs to do any type of work on. So. Anyhow, those are a couple of the random farmers I would discover. But I think his name's Dino. It's like D-E-A and Dino? Dino? I don't know. Not sure. But it was pretty cool to check out. I was also I just finished watching a little short video from One Lonely Farmer, and he was talking about deer issues in his field. I didn't realize deer was such a big issue. I should really ask my father-in-law to see if he has any issues with deer around his property. I don't think they do, because they hunt the deer around their property. So I think the population around their area is less than what One Lonely Farmer appears to have. So, just seems that way at least. Let's get that last little bit there. I think there's one more windrow we've missed. 7 bales, that's not too bad. If we can get 8 bales, that's be like just perfect, because our trailer holds 8 bales. Maybe we got. Well, we'll probably get 9 bales. Watch it be 9. Really? Come on now. You can stop rolling now. Jeez. It's gonna land right in our windrow that we need to go over. For sure. Keep rolling. There we go. Good. Keep rolling. Anyways, it was pretty interesting, because what the One Lonely Farmer was talking about, he was talking about repelling deer off of his soybean crop, and I didn't realize. It makes sense that you would have that problem. I just haven't heard about it. So, which is one of the other reasons why it's cool to watch what some of the issues that farmers deal with outside weeds. You tend to hear a lot about weeds and whatnot, but there are issues like deer, for example. I imagine in England they might have problems with badger. I know here in Canada, and I'm sure in the United States, they have problems with groundhogs. Basically, groundhogs making digging holes in fields and leaving. Oops, I want this button here. Groundhogs leaving holes in the middle of the field, then driving the tractor through it and stuff like that. Really, Bale? There we go. I do like how it increases the RPMs. That's really cool. And let's not take the scenic route, so let's drive through here. I discovered that going that way out of this particular field is the scenic route. This way right here is the quick way of getting around. Alright, let's get out of here. Well, let's just change the implement, really. I don't need to get out of here, technically, but I do need to get those bales out of there. I should really see if I can't find a place to put the... put those bales somewhere better. This is like my parking area. Maybe I should... The silly thing is that this area shouldn't really be used as a parking area, per se. Here's the other trailer. Where did I put it? I don't know, it's just easier to drive through there and just drop stuff off. Obviously, I really shouldn't do that, but I feel as if I need more storage area here. I suppose I could take it all the way down to the other farm where I have... Well, not the other farm. Well, technically there are more than one farm on this map. Well, it doesn't say. I think it says here. There are 3 farmyards. Dairy is where we are right now. The small farm to the south is the host to the chicken and the lamb production. Let's just check that out on the map. Chicken and lamb is nowhere on this map. Somewhere down south, apparently. And then... That doesn't help me at all. Small farm to the south is host to the chicken and the lamb production. The east, there's the medium-sized arable farmland. So, to the east is over here, I guess. I guess that's supposed to be other farm. Which is where our actual silos are. Which I suppose is the reason why it's there, not here. What am I doing? Oh, I did pick it up. Good. I suppose that's the reason why the silos are there as opposed to here, but we should have ones here too. And they should make them separate. Anyways. Alright, let's go pick up those bales, and which is one of the cool things about it, is we actually made 8 bales, which is just the perfect size. Let's lower that. And go trucking around. I think there's that one down here somewhere, isn't there? It's not here, apparently. Anyway. So yeah, I was watching a little bit of that YouTube, seeing what's out there. It's always interesting to see what farmers have to deal with on a regular basis. Like I said before, one lonely farmer was dealing with deer. Didn't realize it was a bit of a problem, but apparently it is. In his state, at least. Perhaps there are other states. Now this is not realistic at all, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Yoink. And I probably could do this somewhat realistically. There we go. Yeah, but it's definitely interesting to see what farmers have to deal with on a regular basis. Weeds definitely is a big issue for many, many farmers. And depending where you're from, you could deal with different things, right? There we go. Let's not run into the fence there. And there's that one over here. Let's get that one as well. Like I said, in Canada we tend to deal with more things like groundhogs. I suppose, depending where you are located, wild turkey maybe. Because there is a large population of wild turkey in some areas of Ontario, and it can be a problem. I know in the Ottawa area there are wild turkey problems, and well, not problems, but there are a lot of wild turkey in Ottawa. In southern Ontario, like in the Chatham area, I don't think they have the same problem. I imagine it's probably, if they do have a problem with animals, it's probably more groundhogs, I imagine. Actually, one of the other big problem animals, maybe not with, not so much with grains and whatnot, but if you have a livestock farm, I know in Ontario, coyotes are pretty bad, at least. So, I know in, I think last time I remember, I was reading the Farmers Forum, and coyotes are the #1 cause of deaths, I should say, of livestock. And I think it's followed by bear. Strangely enough, actually. I think it was, but for bears, I think what it was bears were a problem for bee farmers. Apiarists, I guess they would be called. Apparently. Apparently it was a problem more for bee farmers as opposed to anything else. But if you have like a sheep farm or even a cow farm, beef, cattle, dairy, whatever, I imagine coyotes is probably your biggest issue you need to deal with. And there are some areas, I think I've mentioned this before, there are some areas where they have times of the year where you can hunt coyote for their fur, I suppose, if you want it. I know they use it for some things now. I know these are silage bunkers right here, but I could use them to store my... Let's just take a quick little peek here. That's probably going to be big enough. And that's going to be out of the way, out of the weather. I just don't know. The only problem I'm thinking is I may not be able to unload in there just because it's meant for silage, but I have wrapped bales which make silage, so I don't need to worry about that at all. So let's go ahead and see if we can't unload these bales in there. And if we can do that, that's going to be fantastic. And should they decide to fall, they can fall whenever they, however they want in there. Let's put this on the back side right there. Just gotta drink a little of my hot lemonade. One moment. Man, I love this stuff. I don't know why. I like lemonade to begin with, but ever since my girlfriend introduced me to this is what I tend to drink when I record now. Let's take a quick little peek. Is that going to be too much? Whew, that's pretty darn perfect. Oh, it looks like I can unload them here. That's awesome. What? That's another cool feature about this. If you just noticed, I moved forward there. That wasn't me. That was actually this. It does it by itself. Whatever. They can just sit there like that. I don't need to worry about that. That'll work, actually. It's unfortunate that they decided to go crazy there. I wonder why they did that, though. I don't have any big bales. Or bigger bales. This is, they're not 4-foot bales, so they're just slightly larger, but not that much larger. That's weird. I wonder why. Anyways, see, I can drop up the bales there, but I probably won't be able to drop this trailer. Oh, no, there we go. I just won't be able to, I guess I won't be able to put it too far in there because it'll say, like, you can't, maybe not with that, it'll be okay. But if I were to try to do that with, let's say, a tipper, wouldn't work because it's like, you cannot tip in here. This is not meant for whatever you have in your tipper, basically. I'm just going to park my John Deere here somewhere. Alright. That seems like a good enough place as any. And let's hop in the Massey here. Who's just chilling out, not doing anything. And let's finish, well, start, I should say, seeding this field. Alright, turn on the fan, lower that. There we go. And hit the GPS. Nice. I don't know if there's a good way or a bad way to do this. I think with this particular seeder, the best way would probably be to do a headland after. That's my guess. And I know I can drive through these, so I'm just going to do it. I don't know. I'm not sure how farmers would do this. Like, because honestly, in real life, you wouldn't obviously drive through these bushes. I don't think, at least. But you probably wouldn't start like I just did there, either. So I'm curious. I guess I can slow this down. I don't know why. I think I was testing to see how fast you could actually go with it. And you can go pretty fast, apparently. Yeah, I'm not sure how farmers would actually do this in real life. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do like a crazy turn like I did there. But they would have to turn around somehow. I'm just not sure how they would go about doing it. And I don't know. It's weird though because I don't live in Europe, which is this is a European-based map. I've never seen and I've never actually been on a farm, a European-style farm. So I have no idea how they would go about dealing with some of these issues. For example, like bushes. Because there are, of course, places where there are bushes around people's fields. And I don't know how they would deal with them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up a little bit here. I suppose they would... Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I suppose they would deal with them as best as I could, I suppose. Because in reality, like, think about this. Like, if you had to not run through a bush at all, I guess you would have to do a headland route? I don't know. Let me know, how would you, if you're an actual farmer, let's put it this way, if you're an actual farmer, and this was actually your field, how would you go about dealing with this? Would you do a headland after the fact? I'm assuming it'd be after the fact, but I have no idea. How would you go about dealing with this? Because I'm kind of curious. Or if you are knowledgeable in the area of farming, let me know. Because I'm kind of curious. I feel like this is a similar question to Hitman asked. I was watching one of his videos the other day. Hitman82, I'm referring to, of course, if you have no idea who I'm talking about. He is playing on a map with the forestry mod at the moment. And it's pretty cool to watch. Let's just turn down here. Sure, why not? And one of the questions he was asking was how farmers would deal with some of the issues, like, for example, having a bush around. They probably wouldn't have a... Maybe they would have a cedar like this, I'm not sure. Maybe they would have something different. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments, as TCGG Rob would say. Actually, he does something else which is kind of interesting. He does something where it's... He says something along the lines of, let me know if you should play in this farm for more than one episode. Let me know in the comments. He hasn't done that recently, mind you, because he is kind of doing a Let's Play on Central Kansas and on Springhill Valley, this map as well. So, I don't know. But he seems to be, he seems to do that as well. Alright, let's take a little turn here. Raise that up. Go right here. Perfect. Lower it down. I guess that's how they would do it. Something along that line. I don't know. Man, just seems like it's really difficult. Being a farmer in real life sounds like a lot of work. Like, not just a lot of work in the sense of being in the field like this, but I mean, dealing with lots of issues you wouldn't normally have to deal with. Like, for example, let me go back to One Lonely Farmer and what he was dealing with in terms of the deer, or coyotes if you have livestock, or insert anything else here, because there are a plethora of issues that farmers have to deal with. For example, commodity prices. I don't know. I don't think enough people realize how hard farming actually is. A lot of people really don't. And it's kind of sad because it's a really tough job. Anyways, that's my rant, apparently. Alright, let's lift up that guy there. And go down this pass right here. Yeah, the silly thing about this seeder is basically you go over places you've already been, just because it cultivates. So you end up seeding the same thing twice. Makes me a wee bit sad, but oh well. And, I don't know, let me just show you this. I have no idea why there's a little piece of grass right here. That might have been an error. But let's just see. If I drive over this, is it going to disappear? It hasn't already. But let's just take a little peek. Nope. So maybe that was one area that was part of a different field in the original map. I have no idea. But, and I'm modding. If you're watching, there's a little piece of grass right here. I suppose I could change it myself, but this map's pretty darn solid, I have to admit. So I'm not going to worry about that one little tiny thing. Could you imagine? Let me worry about that one thing. I don't know. I'm not a perfectionist by a long shot, but sometimes, depending on what the issue is, I will fix it, or I will. Some things might bother me, but something like that, yeah, I don't know. I noticed it not too long ago, and I'm like, there's a little spot right there. That's kind of strange. And then it's like, whatever. But I'm sure some people would not feel that way at all. They would be more like, oh, I can't live with that little spot right there. Let's just put the GPS on, like so. Excellent. Yeah, so we actually, I was thinking about what other seeders we could possibly use on this farm. Like, technically I could, because right now we're centralized right here in 1517. And if you recall, it says the eastern part over here is where the large arable farm is, or what they say the large arable farm is. Where is it? To the east, there is a medium-sized arable farm, and while to the west there is a anaerobic. Oh, doesn't say anywhere else. Small farm to the south. You could go anywhere, apparently. and there would be something there. So, but we are right here, and we could theoretically look at buying one of these other fields here, 9, 13. So these are the fields, these other bigger ones I imagine are the ones that you would be able to use the larger equipment. And technically we own these 2 fields, and I'm probably not going to plant this field. That's where the chickens are, by the way. Or 24. 24 I believe is corn. Yes, it is corn. And we own 3 as well, which is corn again. Not a pleasant location for that one, let me tell you that much. It's like a nice looking field, but the field itself is like surrounded by a brick wall. Seriously. A brick wall. Oh my goodness. But with this particular seeder, you probably could go faster than 10 kilometers an hour. But in order to avoid making too many mistakes, that's the reason why I'm kind of going a little bit slow. Slower than you probably need to. There we go. And line up here again, like so. Excellent. I do like this GPS mod now. Now I've gotten used to it a bit more. For things like this, it's awesome. But for some of their jobs, it's not very helpful. Like, for example, sometimes it's okay for... Oh, the thing I found it most useful for is seeding so far and plowing. I did a little bit of plowing with it, and it works fantastic for plowing as well. Seeding, depending on what you're seeding, it works really well as well. But overall, it's pretty solid. You just kind of need to know how to use it. Let's just do this right here. So now I can't lift it up now, because if I lift it up, I'm going to have a huge chunk where I missed. Which I do anyways, but that's besides the point. Alright, let's go up this path, this area right here, like so. Excellent. And I think we have maybe 1 pass left. Maybe. See if we can't get it done this episode within 30 minutes. Hit the gas, so to speak. I'm sure we could. Wonder if it'll actually, well, what happens? Oh, it actually does go up? Oh, check that out. Watch this. Lower the throttle. Increase the throttle. That's cool. Ha! That's really cool, actually. And that even moves up and down, too. Check that out. So, let me just go back here a little bit. Totally botched that. Oh, that's what I was trying to show you. See that? Right here. Watch this. That's cool. Give him the gas. There you go. I don't know why, but starting with this thing doesn't like starting at all. It really has like big issues with it. I don't know why. Maybe it's probably because the direction I'm deciding to start with. That's my guess, at least. Look at that. Almost done. Then we'll have 2 fields ready to go once again. Excellent. I'm trying to keep the focus on the cows, but the cows are good. So I'm not too worried about the cows right now. I suppose we could buy some more cows, or we could buy another field. Could do either. Wow, that's a big gap I totally missed right there. See if we can't rectify that problem. There we go. Still a huge gap somewhere, I'm sure. See, that's why I say you can totally go through some of those bushes. Anyhow, that's probably good enough. So this particular, I don't know, I think articulated tractors would be a lot nicer to have with steering wheels as opposed to a keyboard. Because while it does work fine with keyboard, it's not as smooth as turn. I guess I can turn that off. Look at that. We were able to get 2 fields done. And we still have 88 liters of barley left. That just goes to show you how efficient, I guess you could say, this particular seeder is. Anyways, I won't subject you to me trying to back up this thing, because that's just painful to watch. What we'll do before we finish up here Let's take a quick peek at 23 is 85,000. What about 18? 18 is 100. What about 16? We could buy 16, which is right here. What about 19 or 20? 19 or 20. Actually, you know what we will do before I end the episode? Where's my Unimog? Let's do a little bit of scouting here. Let's just take a quick little peek. Where's field 12? Really? That's the only way you can get through this field. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Let's just say that. That would not be fun at all to do. Alright, that's field 12. Field 11's back here. This is field 10. Field 10 would be a nice field. The one thing I really love what they did this map is look at these rolling hills on these fields. I love that. I've been playing on a lot of maps that are flat, and yeah, it works out really well, but I don't know. It's good to, like, when you're harvesting on a big field, it's good to see, like, the rolling hills and whatnot. Anyways, so that's 10. Can we buy 10? 10, I imagine, is pretty pricey. Yeah. Where are we going to? 13? Might be able to buy 13. This is a nice little area back in here. This is really far from our silo. Whoa, look at that. Wow. That's pretty cool. What field is this? This is field 9. Whoa, look at that field. Holy cow. That's intense. Can't afford it. 36 maybe? 36. 36 we can't afford. 37 we could. 37's way, way, way back here though. We actually have enough. We could sell some of our barley or wheat. How do we get to those fields? I think there was an exit over here somewhere, or was that my imagination? That was your imagination, Iain. Apparently I can get to it, but I wouldn't consider it the best way of getting to the field. Can we get 13? 13, no. That's unfortunate. 37 we can get. Let's do it this way. We can run through the bushes here. If we're running, I don't mind doing it, but if we were driving the tractor through, yeah. Or actually the Unimog. Well, this isn't too bad. It's got the wall around it. And can we afford 36? No. 37 is the other field way, way over here. Another rolling hill field. Because what we could do is the biodigester is... where did they say it was? I think it's somewhere around here. To the east, medium size. Where is it? Wow, to the west. So maybe it's by field 3 then. So we could get this field, which is a pretty big field in itself. Look at that. That is pretty big. We would definitely have to upgrade our haymaking equipment, that's for sure. We could do that field. And 35 maybe we can do as well. No, never mind. Next episode. Not sure. I'll have this get around off camera a little bit, or else it'll be a long episode of me like, ooh, this is a nice field. And, ooh, look at that. Anyways, I will take a look around. What the heck is that in there? Is that just a rock? Or like a duck or something? What the... Can you guys see that? What is that supposed to be? I think it's just a rock that looks like something. Yeah, it's just a rock. Anyways. Anyhow. Looks like a good fishing pond. Looks like a fish or something. Anyways, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013 coming at you from Springhill Valley. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one.